Dell, NetApp, and Sweetgreen are the subject of today's earnings exchange. And here with our trade is Delano Saporu, New Street Advisors founder and CEO. He's also a CNBC contributor. We're going to kick things off with Dell. The share price more than doubling over the past year despite weaker PC demand. Loop Capital is seeing catalysts in artificial intelligence, which could drive PC demand and increase enterprise spend on Dell's server offerings as well. Delano, you're a buyer of Dell here. Take us through why.
Hey, Don, thanks for having me. Yeah, I think one of the reasons why is if we see a refresh in the PC market in the second half of this year, I think that would help, increase demand versus soften demand, what we're seeing in consumers as well as enterprises. You just mentioned AI. I think that's going to be a catalyst for a lot of companies, especially when it comes to streamlining their internal operations. And Dell is actually well positioned to bring those solutions to their clients as well. So the valuation is a risk for me. That's the one thing that could offset this opinion. The shares have been on a run, and they're trading slightly expensive historically looking at the price to earnings. But I think if you look at the diversified business, it's a buy here for myself and potentially for others.
All right, let's move on to NetApp, the data technology company basically flat since November's jump on stronger guidance. Wedbush is noting higher costs and watching to see if companies pull back on cloud and data storage spending. What do you want to see here, Delano?
Yeah, one thing I want to see is looking at the IT spend. I think that's different than we mentioned with Dell, that IT spend in this area might slow. So if they're looking at, cloud consumption, and a lot of enterprises are looking at slowing that down potentially, or if they're looking at their subscriber base and enterprises are looking at slowing that as well, that's a near-term risk for me. But when I look at it, I think the long-term catalyst after 2024, public consumption, the data management, NetApp is well positioned in my mind. So I think the risk is the IT spend, but I think that will be overcome and offset by the long-term trend that we're seeing when it comes to these cloud consumption services that NetApp's providing.
All right, so NetApp down, Dell now we've addressed as well. And then finally, let's talk Sweetgreen. Those shares are up 10% so far this year, but still well off its 2021 highs. Oppenheimer is seeing stronger traffic trends and catalysts in new protein plate type offerings and the company's automated infinite kitchen system. But Delano, you're a little concerned about the strength of the salad consumer.
Exactly. The strength of the salad consumer. And, if Sweetgreen is getting, in this situation, this macro environment that we're potentially seeing the later half of this year, if they're having a higher income consumer, that would probably stabilize demand. But I think that they may not have that. And I also see strong competition. Of course, Cava, Chipotle, it's a battle of pricing power and being able to maintain that pricing power. So I would be fading here. I think they're seeing a lot of downgrades across the street, and there are a lot of lower revisions on EPS. And for me, I want to see a little bit more of that growth story, especially for a newly IPO'd company.